Hello everyone, I am Parikshit and welcome to another very exciting session on Unacademy CAT-alyst. In today's session, we are going to talk about the CAT, Bell the CAT, right? Exam pattern, the complete syllabus and all that you need to know if you have just started your CAT preparation or if you want to know more about the CAT, right? But as always, the first thing I'm going to tell you, give me 5 seconds to ensure that I'm streaming live before we get started with today's session. Okay, I think we are streaming live and we are good to start. So this is about me, your educator on Unacademy. Over 2 million minutes of watch time and an educator with the highest ratings on the Unacademy platform. So the upcoming events on Unacademy, a lot of new batches are starting on Unacademy. 22nd of March, a starter batch. Then on the 24th, an absolute weekday morning batch. And then on the 27th, a round the clock batch. So if you are interested to enroll for any of these batches, please make sure that you use the code Parikshit Live on Unacademy. You will get 10% off while subscribing to Unacademy Plus. Also happy to share that we have a 100 percentile in Unacademy last year in LRDI and 99.98, 99.97 overall. So you definitely can be one amongst the next. Yes, there is a price hike coming very soon. Last few days to enroll in the current prices. So the most popular subscription that students go for is the 12-month subscription. So if you see the current price is 17,500, it is going to be 22,550 next month, right? So more than 5,000 rupees increase. Also, if you enroll now at 17,500, you can pay even less by using the code Parikshit Live. You will get 10% discount. So 17,500 minus 1750 will be somewhere around 15,000, right? Best time to get a subscription. And a weekly scholarship test. Do make sure you register for it. And yes, the CAT T20 test series. This is something which has started on Unacademy. Make sure you enroll because it helps you in your preparation. Let's get started with today's class. Okay, in this particular 15-20 minute session, right, I'm going to talk all about the CAT. Remember the CAT 2020. Before you start a vehicle, you need to know which direction you are traveling. All that is important, right? Now let's talk about the CAT 2020 exam pattern at the start. So the CAT 2020 has traditionally been divided into 3 sections, okay? Section 1, Section 2 and Section 3. Now in Section 1 you have got verbal. In Section 1 you have got verbal. In Section 2 you have got LRDI. And in Section 3 you have got Quants. Okay. How many questions? So what is verbal? Verbal is basically English. How many questions? 34 questions. Now someone might say last year the number of questions were less. Remember last year was the corona, the year of pandemic. And there were a lot of involuntary changes. So let's not consider the last year. Okay, you exclude last year and then we look at the pattern. LRDI, 32 questions. And then Quants, 34 questions. So if you look at overall 34 plus 32 plus 34 makes it 100 questions. 100 questions that you are gonna prepare for your CAT, right? What is the marking pattern? If you get the question correct, you will get +3. If you get it wrong, you will get -1. And if it is unanswered, there are no marks for it. There are no marks for it. Now think about it. One thing I always stress on is the competition. How many students write the CAT every year? Every year, almost on average, around 2.4 lakh students write the CAT every year. 2.4 lakh students write the CAT every year. Only the top few get into the best B schools. Remember, are there 2.5 lakh seats for MBA colleges in India? Definitely there are. But can you go to any MBA college? No. If you have to get into the top IIMs, you have to be amongst the toppers in this 2.4 lakhs. Okay. Now, is there any qualification? Do you have to be of a specific stream graduation? You should be a graduate, a final year graduate to write the CAT. That's the only qualification. Final year graduate, which discipline? Can be of any discipline. If you are an art student, if you are a BBA student, if you are a BCom student, can you go for the CAT? Definitely. In fact, if you are a non-engineer, if your graduation is non-engineering, you know what? You will get bonus points. You will get bonus points. So this is something which is very important, and I think all non-engineers got to stress on this. You are not doing anything and you are getting bonus points just because you are a non-engineer. Reason is diversity factor, as they call it. Okay, now this is regarding the exam pattern. What is the duration? The duration is 3 hours. The duration is 3 hours. So 3 hours is basically 180 minutes. So can I say 180 minutes, 100 questions. So it is basically less than 2 minutes per question. But remember, you don't have to attempt all. You only got to attempt the selected ones. So on average, students should be able to solve a CAT question within 2 to 2.5 minutes. 2.5 or even 3 minutes in some instances, right? So the average time to solve one question should be around 2.5 to 3 minutes per question in your CAT. Okay, now let's talk about the syllabus. Let's talk about your syllabus in the CAT, right? Okay, let's talk about your syllabus in the CAT. The 3 sections, we have already talked about the exam pattern. Now is what you need to study for your CAT. Verbal, if you got to do well in your verbal, right, it is very easy because it's only and only about reading comprehension. Passages, it is about RC as they call it. What is RC? RC is reading comprehension. They will give you a passage and there will be questions based on the passage. Is it that easy? No. Why? Because there will be inference based questions. When I say inference based, it is meaning it is not database. You have to understand the paragraph, derive your conclusions, and then say what is the author trying to communicate. For this, definitely you got to read a lot. Read a lot. So out of 34 questions in verbal, remember there were 34 questions in verbal. Out of 34 questions in verbal, almost 24 comes from reading comprehension. Meaning you don't have to think about other parts in verbal. If you are very good in your reading comprehension, you will end up with a 99 plus percentile. What about other things that are part of your verbal syllabus? You have critical reasoning. Critical reasoning. What is an example of a critical reasoning? Critical reasoning example would be, they would give you a passage and they would tell you which of these strengthens the argument, which of these weakens the argument. Now these are some things you will learn when you join Unacademy for your CAT preparation. Critical reasoning. Next, you have grammar. You also have grammar. Now generally last few years CAT has not asked grammar, but before that there has always been grammar questions. Does it mean that grammar won't come this year or you don't have to prepare this year grammar? No. Remember, the only thing CAT is known for is its surprises. So definitely you got to know about grammar. You got to know about grammar. But more or less, these are the 3 main things that would constitute your verbal preparation, right? Now let's come to LRDI. Let's come to LRDI. Now LRDI consists of 2 parts. It consists of DI, as they call it, data interpretation. Okay. And next is logical reasoning. Logical reasoning. Now what is data interpretation? Data interpretation is basically charts. They will give you bar diagrams. They will give you pie charts. They will give you tables. Okay. And based on that, they will ask you questions. Example of a simple example could be, they give you sales figures and they ask you in which quarter is the percentage growth in sales the highest. That's an example of a data interpretation set. You can think about data interpretation as charts, different types of charts. Okay, and it's calculation based. What about logical reasoning? Logical reasoning can be visualized as puzzles. Example of a puzzle could be, there are 7 people sitting around a circle. Some people are looking towards the center, some are looking away from the center. A is not next to B. They will give you a lot of conditions. It will be a paragraph and then they will ask you who is sitting opposite A. Who is the third person to the right of A? That's a classic example of a puzzle. Now remember, I must tell you one thing. Verbal, some of you might be really good in your English. You might be reading a lot of books and this is something you have developed over the years. Super awesome. You might be good in verbal. But you know what? LRDI is something that everyone starts at ground zero. Everyone starts at ground zero. Right? So because you start at ground zero, The best part is everyone starts at the same level. Whoever puts in the maximum effort can easily get the highest marks here. Think about it. You might have studied in a vernacular school in your class 10, right? 8, 9, 10, your schooling might be a non-English medium. So you might be you need to work hard in your verbal part, in your English part. But you know what? LRDI, no one has studied. These are puzzles. No one, be it any graduation, has studied LRDI, and this is where you put in the minimum effort and come out with the maximum output. Remember, as I said sometime before, LRDI has 32 questions. So when I say 32 questions, it means basically 8 sets. So one puzzle is one set. So 8 puzzles, and every puzzle will have 4 questions. Every puzzle will have on an average 4 questions. So 4 into 8, 32 questions. The good part is, if you are able to solve the puzzle, you know what? It's a puzzle. One puzzle, 4 questions. If you are able to solve the puzzle, right, you will be getting 4 questions correct. And if you get 4 questions correct, remember, 1 question correct means 3 marks. So 4 questions correct means 12 marks. You straight away get 12 marks. In your CAT, it's all about solving around 3 to 4 puzzles correctly. If you can solve 4 puzzles correctly, okay, 4 puzzles correct, out of the 8 puzzles, you'd end up with a 95 plus percentile. 95 plus. So all the effort that you put for the next 7 months, 8 months, it's about getting 4 puzzles correct. And as I said, everyone who is preparing for the CAT starts at ground zero when it comes to LRDI. The best part. So put in the minimum effort, you get the maximum output. Easily, highly scoring. Right? Next is Quants. Now let's talk about Quants. This is one of my favorite areas, maths. Now some of you might have hated maths in your school days, in your engineering. You might have opted for your grads and arts or commerce because you did not want to take science just because you were weak in your maths. Don't worry. CAT Quants, CAT maths is all about, I will tell you, till class 10. Nothing is asked beyond your class 10 syllabus. Okay, then you might be asking me, okay, then why is there such a noise when it comes to CAT? Because the questions which will be asked will be tricky. A class 10 student, though the syllabus is still class 10, a class 10 student will not be able to solve the CAT paper simply because A, questions will be tough, B, speed and shortcut. It's not the way you learn in your school. It's a lot of shortcuts and tricks that you got to apply. Remember, the CAT paper, or if you talk about Quants, 34 questions, 60 minutes. So if you do the calculations, it's less than 1 minute per question. This is where you need guidance, and this is where you need practice. Now what I have on my screen is what I offer, or what we offer, right? What I have done is basically written down your CAT syllabus, okay? Written down a CAT syllabus. So if you look at it, there are 4 modules, basically 4 big modules in your CAT, right? The first part is arithmetic, right? First 7 chapters are arithmetic, and this constitutes about 35% to 44% of the total questions in CAT. 35% to 40% weightage. Most important, if you do these chapters very, very, very nicely, that itself might be sufficient to crack your CAT Quants cutoff. Okay, so what are the syllabus in arithmetic? Percentages, profit loss discount, ratio proportion variation, average mixtures allegation, simple interest, compound interest, time, speed, distance, time and work. These are the 7 most important chapters. Moment you are done with it, the next important part is number 10 to number 15. 6 chapters, and this is algebra. Correct? How much weightage? Around 30%, around 35% weightage for this as well. Around 35% weightage for algebra. Most important part again. What are the topics? Sequence, series and progressions. Progressions means arithmetic progression, geometric progression. I'm sure you must have heard about it. Then linear equations, quadratic and higher order equations, modulus, maxima and minima, and then functions and graphs, and then functions and graphs. And then comes part 3 comes this, right? What are the part 3? Part 3, I would put it as geometry. I would put it as geometry. So how much is geometry? How important is geometry? Geometry is also important. It would be around, how much? It would be around 20%. Around 20% of the questions would be from geometry. Would be from geometry and mensuration. So when I say geometry, I would include other miscellaneous chapters as well. Geometry, mensuration, coordinate geometry, logarithm and trigonometry. I would love to put them under geometry only. So this would constitute 20%. So these are the 3 main modules in your CAT. If you do these 3, almost a 99 percentile can be easily achieved, provided you are very thorough with it. What are the chapters I did not mark? There is one chapter on number system. One chapter on number system alone, you can think it to be around 5% weightage. 5% weightage. 5%. And then there is another chapter on PNC. Can you see this? Permutation and combination and probability. You include these two together, permutation, combination and probability, would be another 5%. So remember, if you got to do well, you got to do well in arithmetic and algebra. Most important. Very important part for your CAT preparation. Now this brings me to the next part of the discussion. Okay, if this is what is most important, and let's say if some of you, many of you, now I have got more than 2 to 3 million minutes of watch time. It's nearly 2 million plus and nearly 3 million. What happens is, what we have on Unacademy Plus. So in Unacademy Plus, if you look at it, right, complete A to Z preparation of your quants is what I provide, right? For both LRDI and quants. If you look at it, this is CAT 2020, what we have covered. CAT 2020, okay? 2020. The recordings are available. 2020 recordings, okay, is what I have mentioned here. And 2021 obviously is gonna be live. Obviously is starting live. We are starting. But just to give you a hint, how many hours we spend on our Quants syllabus. I take around 200 hours to finish your CAT Quants syllabus, right? So as an example, last year, whoever did Quants with me would have done 8 hours time and work, 8 hours of video questions. Every type of question would be done in your class, every type of question. And then in 2021, obviously, more or less, it would be 200 hours. It would be definitely more than 200 hours. It cannot be less, because last year we started in May. This year we have already started. So it's going to be around 250 hours live classes. Now, if you are interested for CAT 2021, first thing, you definitely go to Unacademy, go to my free section, go to the free section on Unacademy, and you know what? Search by my name. Parikshit. My name is Parikshit, okay? So you can search with the educator's name, and then if you're joining for the first time, just type this code Parikshit Live. You'll be able to access a few of the classes free, absolutely free. Now, the moment you see the classes, you'll get to know the quality of classes. If you think the quality of classes is good, you like it, then probably you are most welcome to join me on Plus. On Unacademy Plus, okay, we start from April 1st. Starts April 1st. A new batch, completely new batch starts April 1st, okay? What are the things I'm starting? Complete course on algebra. Complete course on algebra starts from April 1st. Algebra. How many hours are we looking at? 80 hours. 80 hours of algebra. And then what do we start again? Complete course on LRDI. Again, that also starts from April 1st. Okay, on LRDI. Now LRDI, how many hours? No hours, because I'm going to do it every day, Monday to Friday. All the classes will be Monday to Friday. Okay, what are the timings? Algebra will be 10 p.m. to 11:30 a.m. Okay, and then LRDI would be morning 7:45 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. So 8:45 a.m. So 2.5 hour classes daily, Monday to Friday. Again, LRDI is also something. I have taken a lot of free classes on Unacademy. Just go view the free classes. You like it, only then enroll. And remember, whatever is the current price, you got to use this code. This is the magic code which will give you 10% discount on Unacademy. 10% discount on Unacademy, and will get you access to every educator on Unacademy. You use this code, but you will get access to every educator. So I think Quants and LRDI is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. What about verbal? I don't take verbal, but there are a lot of educators on Unacademy who take verbal. Do you need a separate subscription? No, just one subscription on Unacademy using this code, you get access to every educator. And just to make sure that we are aware of the prices, these are the prices, right? On your screen are the Unacademy prices. The most common is the 12-month subscription, right? So 12-month subscription is 17,500 at the moment. It is going to be increased to 22,550 from next month. So last few days for 17,500, and remember I said 10% discount. So on this you will get 10% discount, so it will come out to be around 15,000, So 1 year subscription, but if you think that 1 year is too much, you don't need so much of guidance, probably you want only 6 months, then 6 months is also good enough. Left hand side is the current price, 14,000. You can get a 10% discount, so 1,400 rupees discount. That will make it 12,600. So 12,600 for 6 months, or around 15,000 for 1 year. And when I say 1 year, it's not only CAT, it's CAT, Maharashtra CET, CMAT, XAT, SNAP, all exams and all educators. You'll get access. Use the code Parikshit Live, 10% discount, and then free mentorship. The free mentorship is available only on this particular code. Yes? Yes. Okay, I think that's it for today. I think I have given you a fair idea of what the CAT is all about. The syllabus of the CAT, the exam pattern, and how you're gonna prepare for your CAT. Remember, if you need guidance, A to Z of your guidance is available on Unacademy, and hundreds of thousands of students have already joined. You can also be a part of the journey. Thank you. Stay safe, and I'm going to see you in my next class. Thank you. Keep studying. Bye for now.